The majority of us only see Erin Burnett in one mode: a steady face, a calm voice, breaking news, and a screen full of turmoil that she manages to keep under control. However, this is what people fail to consider. You don't only report catastrophes if you spend enough time in that chair. You begin to carry them. You'll see why the most tragic details in her story aren't actually some covert scandal if you watch this video through to the very end. It's the price of spending every night in the worst parts of the planet while millions of strangers think they know you. The day never truly ends for a primetime news anchor. The tales never stop. Wars, disasters, crimes, terrible accidents, families losing everything, leaders making threats, markets tumbling, cities burning, people begging for rescue. The TV can be turned off by a regular person. A newscaster is unable to. They must remain alert, prepared, and focused. The most peculiar aspect is that the audience typically wants you to be both human and unwavering at the same time. They desire feeling, but not too much. They want honesty, but only if it aligns with their values. People can be crushed by the pressure. In a society when every word is scrutinized, Erin Burnett developed her career. Not only by superiors or detractors, but also by strangers on the internet who decide that the person on their screen is today's target after waking up in a rage. And that's where the situation becomes gloomy. Because rage is insufficient for some individuals. It turns into a danger. It turns into harassment. It turns into statements like "I want to hurt you" rather than just "I disagree." Imagine working and then returning home to find that someone not only despises your viewpoint but also despises you as a person and is prepared to say terrible things about what they wish to happen to you. This is important, so pay close attention. It's not just the stories she covers that are tragic. In the current world, it's also what the job can draw in. News personalities can be targeted in more ways than merely comments. In her instance, genuine threats have been taken seriously, which alters people's life. It modifies security. Routines are altered. It alters the perception of normal. It's not just about the anchor either. It also has to do with their family. Threats are no longer just part of the job when they extend outside the studio. At home, there is terror. Additionally, people seem to forget that she is a real person with a life away from the camera. You don't get to be the strong one in certain situations, such as relationships, children, private concerns, private stress, and private moments. However, journalists are rarely given that room in the world. People think you're weak if you appear worn out. People say you're cold if you appear serious. People think you're false if you grin. Even the most resilient individual can be worn down by the never-ending strain of this no-win game. The profession can alter one's perspective on the world, which is another tragic detail that most viewers are unaware of. Observing human misery up close for years can leave you feeling numb, anxious, or guilty since you get to return home when others do not. There is a weight that remains even when everything is done correctly. You don't simply go on after hearing about a catastrophe. You consider the parents. You consider the children. You consider someone's most recent phone call. Even if you don't display it, you carry tiny bits of it. The other unpleasant reality is that individuals on the internet adore the term tragic details because they desire a personal demise. Tears are what they desire. They're looking for a breakdown. They're looking for a gotcha moment. However, this is a more mature story than that. The story of Erin Burnett demonstrates the cost of doing meaningful work at a time where attention is quick, irate, and occasionally cruel. The sad thing is that we've fostered a society in which speaking out can make you a target and where the loudest people are frequently rewarded for being the worst. Click like, subscribe, and comment on the next public person you want covered if you want to see more real articles like this one, where we break down what's real, what's hype,